Hello and welcome back to another exciting, riveting, edge of your seat episode where we apply for permits. Last week on applying for permits, you guys applied for citizenship because you couldn't apply for permits without citizenship. So that's what you did. You've turned in your applications. A week has passed since that day, and you guys have your proper citizen paperwork. You are officially citizens of Mistvale. Congratulations. In that week, you guys have gotten a much more extensive series of tours from Scud, telling you nearly everything that you would need to know about Mistvale, more than just bricks and the differences of bricks and how bricks were made to look like they weren't different from other parts of Mistvale, which was just so exciting, I know. And here's what you know. I know I sent it to everybody in document form, but just so that it's for the posterity of the one person who will watch this on the YouTube video later. Mistvale is currently made up of now 14 domains that the Midwest has joined. The first one was Mistvale itself, believed to be the very first domain to achieve freedom without being destroyed. Scud accidentally freed this domain from its Dark Lord, and he doesn't really talk about the details a whole lot. There is a single abandoned building in Mistvale. Every building seems to be utilized for one purpose or another, be it residence or shop or some kind of resource or commodity. One building stands abandoned. It is the tallest building in Mistvale by far. It's this giant gray tower, and there is constantly a series of mist cloaks patrolling that area. The building is barricaded off, and nobody in town seems to take note of it, recognize it very much. They generally ignore it for the most part. The second domain was a domain called Keening, and this was the first domain that was purposefully freed. Scud and Ash, who had risen from the grave about 5 months prior to this, were testing a theory as to how to free domains without them collapsing on themselves. They put to rest a banshee in Keening. That banshee was terrorizing a small farming village, and Keening went on to become the eastern farmlands of Mistvale, adding to the cultivation capabilities of Mistvale. Following that guess, that theory that had been proven assumingly correct, Scud and Ash went on to free another domain called Jerusia, an urban city boasting an impressively sturdy architecture in all of its buildings. As soon as they freed this domain, more commodities were able to join with Mistvale. They were able to build upon a lot of their own potentials. This is where a lot of the newer architecture stems from, is the practices that were learned from the inhabitants of Jerusia. This is also where the triplets, the gnome triplets that are in that document, and the headsmith are from. And they had a lot of the building and architecture now within Mistvale. The Southern Seas joined Mistvale after the Seas of Sorrow were freed by Scud and Ash on just a good old swashbuckling adventure involving pirates, monsters from the deep, and all sorts of amazing mysteries and action that I'm sorry you guys just never saw. Maybe in a prequel one-shot. Who knows? The plains surrounding the entire northern edges of Mistvale came from Forlorn. So at this point now, Mistvale is essentially one large semicircle with a southern sea to the south of it, a large ring of plains around the north. And every time Mistvale had a populace join, so too did a lot of the buildings uh, and architecture from those realms. They just kind of joined, and Mistvale began to naturally kind of grow upon itself, this semicircle becoming larger and larger and larger. And as it did so, the plains outside began to expand as well, accommodating the growth of the populated areas. After the plains, another domain called Nvidia was um, was freed. Nothing really came from this one as far as like big picture stuff for Mistvale. Um, Scud and Ash brought back just a child who had been saved from um, a tyrannical mother who was torturing a lot of other people, seemingly to do best for the child himself. After they continued to free more domains, there was a large ring of forestry that appeared around the outside of the plains, which many of the farmers and populace of Mistvale itself took to calling Melora's shield, as cultivation and untold bounty came from this ring of forestry. Many people turned to worshiping Melora, the goddess of nature and cultivation. Uh, and this was just a more sturdy handhold. This gave them a lot of additional fruits from trees that they were able to harvest. A seemingly unending wealth of fauna that they could hunt: deer, rabbits, things like that, birds. The mountain came, something that you guys have seen before. Scud pointed it out during your very first tour. During this one, Scud and Ash felled the deep dragon Glimmerwing, who had reigned over the mountain and its inhabitants. The Duergar of the mountain were grateful. They're the ones who gifted Scud his mithril great axe as a show of gratitude. And after they realized that they didn't really have a choice in their mountain appearing as part of the domain of Mistvale, they politely but firmly asserted their choice to remain within the mountain, to hold independence away from Mistvale, and to not really have anything to do with Mistvale itself. They are self-sustaining. There is no ill will between the Duergar and the citizens of Mistvale. It's not a tumultuous piece, but they are uncomfortable with people from Mistvale just showing up. They're very closed off. Scud has been back there a couple times just to try to reinforce relations with the Duergar, and has returned without any conflict having arisen, but they do remain independent. More realms were freed, just increasing Mistvale's size. At this point, Mistvale is growing a little over 25,000. So it is it's on the verge of what would be considered a metropolis. It's not quite as large as places like Baldur's Gate or water deep, but it's growing, and it's quite a substantial city on its own. Within the southern seas, the monastic isles appeared, each one with its own temple or monastery, just in reverence to its own god. Each island kind of is on its own, self-sustaining. They have their own cultivation. They keep their own farmland, but they do trade regularly with Mistvale. The ports were built in Mistvale, leading to a strong economy of fishing, and trade with the Southern Isles. The outlier of Mistvale is something called the Rider's Bridge. Scud and Ash were chasing word of a legend, which tends to pop up in most every culture, where there is a rider of some sort who is either seeking vengeance or protecting a land beyond itself. And Scud and Ash stumbled across the Rider's Bridge. The person that they helped across it was sharing with them this rumor that if you were to cross the bridge, you would escape the mists forever. You would be free. You would be, and you would be taken to your own plane of existence where you could be safe and thrive and be in prosperity. You did help one person cross that bridge. The Rider's Bridge is now a part of Mistvale, and it lies just beyond Melora's shield on the eastern edge. Nobody has crossed it since. They seem very uninterested in tangling with the rider who currently guards the bridge, but that is there now. I think probably the largest city expansion for Mistvale happened when Ash and Scud freed the domain of Throg, which was a near pristine cityscape. It was kept in immaculate condition, as it was largely untouched by those who lived there, and that's because they were hiding away. This is where Scud and Ash met Breeza, who had found herself in this domain inexplicably. She does not know how she got there, but she had been trying to lift this curse or plague or whatever vile thing it was that claimed this domain. She was trying to heal people, and she just lacked the know-how. Scud and Ash showed up, and the three of them freed it very easily. Breeza has been partnered with Ash and Scud ever since. To challenge herself after several months of getting the lay of the land and learning what she could from Scud and Ash, Breeza went on solo to see if she could free her own domain, and she did. She freed the domain of Ungoliant, and the only two things that she brought back from that domain, which was freed, was the sun that currently hangs in Mistvale. Before this, there was just a very gray feeling to Mistvale, like it was always on the edge of dusk almost. Just without the orange in the sky. But now day and night has been brought to Mistvale, and while the sun is still very white in color, and Mistvale itself does have a very grayish air, the sun has helped immensely with cultivation and sleep, and it's actually lifted a lot of the kind of stoic depression that a lot of the citizens had. She also brought back one thing. It was a sealed red envelope. It has never been opened, and Breeza does not talk about what happened in the domain of Ungoliant. She does not talk about what the envelope is, why she has it. It's just kind of this thing that she did, and that's it. She leaves it at that. And then Mistvale, which, as you guys have been there, it is now sitting to the north of Mistvale, or sorry, Midwest. You guys have been there. Midwest. It lies to the north of Mistvale, pretty far away. It's actually about as far away as the mountain. Just instead, where the mountain is to the northeast, Midwest is to sorry, the mountain is to the northwest. The Midwest is to the east of the mountain, so just a straight shot north. There are a lot of opportunities that the Midwest will bring for Mistvale. It's just uncertain how talks and the political relations will go during this time of emergence. So those are the big ones for you guys. There's also just a list of people that have been talked about. Also, in the people of notes section that I had sent you guys, you are aware of them. You have heard their names. It is up to you whether or not you want to interact with these people. But these are the ones who hold the most influence over Mistvale and who kind of keep the gears rolling, if that makes sense.
Can you clarify what the difference is between a mist walker, which is what we do, and what's a mist cloak?
The mist cloak is like the city guard. Okay. They're the ones who are keeping the peace on a day-to-day basis. So they would be, I don't remember what they were called in Baldur's Gate. But they are, they walk around, they are on patrol. They're, if there's a scuffle in a tavern because somebody got too drunk, they're the ones that break it up. If somebody needs to be arrested because they stole something they shouldn't have stolen, they're the ones that are there. They're on patrol. They have their own compound on the it's kind of center-ish to the city, but it is closer to the like if you had a graph, like an XY graph, they would be kind of like on the negative ends, just to the negative of the X, negative of the Y. So just off center in the city. And that's where they do a lot of their training. That's where they clock in and clock out for their shifts. There is a barracks there for some of the unwed and unfamilied members of the Mist Cloaks. Just that way they have, some place to be and sleep during their off time.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for going over all that.
Yeah.
So what did everybody come up with that they wanted to do over the session? My list was pretty simple, what I wanted to do. I'll go last. Seeing mine was simple. Like one thing.
I think the only other person that really gave like something that they wanted to do was Corvin. Corvin would have been looking for another chance to set up his own infrastructure that he had set up in Sanctuary, where some of the Icathians were donating blood. That way he could retain the sustenance that he needed as a Dhampir. Given that this is such a populated area, this is, becoming a very major city. There's a lot of people here, hospitals, houses of healing, temples. They are here, and there are several places dedicated to the healing of others. So hospitals having been established here, they would have a system set up at Corvin's discretion to come in and get the sustenance that he needs from the blood. In the same way that Scud not Scud, Ash. Ash is kept in a supply of rotted meat. That is his diet. Corvin would be given, an allowance of what the city can provide for him without it becoming an issue.
It's not called rotted. It's called unpoint.
It is whatever language you wish it to be. It's rotting meat.
It's something you don't have to put your name on in the fridge because nobody else is going to touch it.
Nobody else will take it. That's right. It's green and weird.
There's always going to be that one person in the workplace who'll take it. Change my mind. Ash Mark's his name anyways.
So Corvin's needs are largely met. In the last week, you guys have also checked in on your Icathians that you've saved from a sanctuary. They are thriving. They are doing very well. Several of the Icathians that worked the forge and sanctuary have actually found work with the head smith, Stack Montgomery, who has recognized their skills and talents with metalworking and has dispatched them to the several forges that he oversees throughout Mistvale. Let's see. During this week, and actually, so if 7 days have passed since then, on the 6th night, Corvin, you have had another dream.
All right. What kind of dream?
And in this dream, the voice of a child comes to you, and she says, I thought I told you guys not to die.
I'm pretty sure most of us didn't do that.
Yeah, most of you, but what about the big stupid one? He's dead. You didn't tell him?
You kind of answered your own question with that statement. Also, Corvin's probably just as stupid as the big guy, but...
All right. Well, look, I know I've threatened you. And I do want to kill you guys myself. Who's left. But it was really hard to find you here. I don't even know where you are. But somebody else is looking for you, and he scares me. So I'm going to leave you for him. Just a heads up.
All right. Goodbye then.
Okay. Bye.
Maybe Corvin misunderstood, but it sounds like she wants to go after him now for some reason.
Nope. She said that he scares her.
So she's opting out.
She's opting out.
She's leaving you alone.
She's getting out of the way.
All right.
And that
I see
morning,
what you mean. Now I understood what you meant by that. Left him for him. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, left you guys for him to deal with. She doesn't.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to be found anywhere near you guys. And as you wake up this morning, you hear a voice in your room. As you wake up, the blur of the early morning, the fog in your brain of having just been asleep, you hear, "Hey, come here."
Corvin just kind of like bundles up to the corner onto the wall. It's like, you said you left.
Come here.
He'll continue just up the wall unless I could see any. Well, I have dark vision, so I probably could see, hopefully, if there's anything actually there.
Give me a perception check.
All right. Sorry, my sheet was closed. Give me a second. A 15.
There's nobody else in your room. And the voice seems to be coming from the other side of your room, though you can't pinpoint exactly its location.
I just will kind of squint. Is there a door or wall? What is on the other side of my room?
Just a normal bedroom. You have a pretty nice desk in there, as do all the guest rooms in the manor. The wardrobe where you keep your belongings. There's a little reading chair next to the window there.
And which direction is the door of the bedroom?
The door of the bedroom is, if you were laying in bed, the door of the bedroom would be to the right. So the
Okay, so
voice is coming from across the room in front of you.
All right, I'll kind of just like climb along the walls towards my door and just continue like staring and squinting at the middle of my room.
Yeah, you see no movement.
I'll leave my room and go knock on someone else's door, whoever sleeps nearest me, and say, "Whoever's pranking me is not funny."
Yeah, so if you were to you leave your room, if you were to travel further down the hallway, like to your right, the next room over would be Breeze's. And then if you were to go to the left, it would be the first room in the hallway, and that room would be Mora.
All right. Remember, Breeza was not a very friendly lady, so I'm gonna bother Mora instead.
Are you saying I'm more friendly?
It's a low bar, but yes.
I'll take it.
You just hear Corvin knocking at your door saying it's not funny trying to prick me, because I do know that you can talk to me in my head, so
Only when I can see you.
I don't know if Corvin knows
I'm
that.
just kidding. Come in.
You see
And I'm
Corvin's
sitting there
head peek.
practicing juggling my knives.
Corvin's head peeks up from the top of the door. It isn't funny, you know. Did you know that I was dreaming about that little girl?
Nope. Should I have been made aware? And why are you dreaming about little girls, Corvin?
Carolyn, she appeared again, and left actually, but then I heard voices in my room.
What
I
kind of
immediately-
voices?
It was like a child's voice.
I'm gonna run over to Corvin's room and like push him out of the doorway, and I go to the room that he's in.
Give me another perception check, Corvin.
20.
You actually don't know if it was a child's voice. It came through as just a whisper, and so it was.
Oh,
It's
okay.
kind of hard to pinpoint the age or the accent of who may have been doing it. It was just a whisper from across the room, spoken very quickly.
All right, I'll clarify. Maybe it wasn't Carolyn's voice, but it was a whisper. It was hard to really tell.
I'm already down the hall. I don't care. Like going into his room.
All right, yeah, you're in his room. Give me a perception check.
16 plus 6 is 22.
Oh yeah, that's great. The room's empty.
Corvin, you
Totally
crazy.
normal room.
All right. Are you sure it was what's her bucket?
No, but I mean, it seemed like her in the dream. But she also, like I said, she said she was going to leave us alone now. Someone scarier, probably Aslan, was looking for us.
Oh no. That's the guy that killed Morgan. That's unfortunate for us. Oh, wait, no, that wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Okay.
was him.
Okay. Started to doubt myself, you guys, but I was pretty confident. All right. I feel like this is important. First of all, thank you for coming to me with this information. I know that I'm very trustworthy and good at decision making in this group, so I understand why you came to me. But maybe we should include the others about what you heard. Do you think?
That makes sense, yes, I agree. Corvin's still standing on the ceiling.
I'll like. Oh, I can. No, I don't want to use my hand. Okay, I was gonna levitate too because I'm wearing the shoes, but it's fine. Okay. Do you think we should tell Ash about it, or should we just tell Lonnie?
I mean, he's lived here longer than we have. It makes sense to ask Ash as well.
Yeah, he just reminds me a little bit of Morgan. I don't know why. Just kidding. Sorry, it's a joke. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can gather them.
All right. Who are you waking first?
I can get Ash and or I can get Lonnie.
Lonnie. I'm scared of Ash a little bit.
Lonnie is in the room just past Breeze's, and Ash is at the very end of the hall. Scud's bedroom is after Lonnie's and just before Ash's, and Breeze's is just before Lonnie's. So it sounds like you're skipping Breeze's.
Yeah, that lady be scary, yo. I go into Lonnie's room.
She's a drow. Let's be fair; they're not social.
I go
So we don't want to
Lonnie's.
wake her in the middle of the night. So
Actually, this would be very early morning, just before dawn. That's why Mora was awake and juggling. It's because she's just a natural morning person. Can't you tell?
It's the nighttime where I feel alive. I go into Lonnie's room and I like get close to her face, and I hope that when I wake her up, I'm just like, "Good morning, Lonnie."
And
All right.
Lonnie's used to this, so she's unfazed.
Okay. As has been every morning for the last week, you've woken up with Mora in your face.
I've been waiting for you.
I ask her what's up this time.
Corvin's dreaming about murderers. Let's go see what he tells. I said Dr. Ash. Well, I guess I can keep your label to keep it formal.
There you go.
I grab her
Right.
hand. Come with me.
Like I have a choice.
In your pajamas, Mora drags you out into the hallway where Corvin is trying to wake Ash.
I'll just go over to Ash and knock on his door as loud as possible. Ash, you happen to be awake?
I am now. Just start shambling over for an unreasonably long time to the door.
You doing okay? Did you fall? Leg's still on one piece.
I check myself to inspect if I'm in one piece. I assume I am.
Yeah, you're a corpse, but as far as things are considered, you're in better health than most corpses.
Yeah, exactly. I just kind of look at Corvin because of the obvious that I'm a corpse. What brings upon this fine greeting in the evening?
Do you remember the little lady that we were attempting to save and ended up trying to murder us? And I saw dreams of her. She returned and warned us that she was actually going to leave us alone, which was actually a bit more disconcerting because now Aslan might be on us. He wasn't happy enough to just take sanctuary. Sanctuary. I can't say the word sanctuary from us.
Sanctuary.
Yes. And so he might be coming after us again here.
I was worried about that. With bringing in, we are at risk. With all the realms we've liberated, it wouldn't be that crazy to believe that he would find his way here like he found his way to Sanctuary. Let me get my robe on. And I just hobble off.
You excitedly rush over to grab your robe, and you toss it over your shoulders.
All right. To the library. And
As when we are heading towards the library, I will ask Ash to see if he knows anything about what was the name of that place. Let me find the name of the place again. Decided to scroll down. It was the place with the arcane plague.
Yes, that is Throg.
Throg. Ash, do you know anything about the plague that happened in Throg? I know you took care of it, but are we able to engineer it by chance to repurpose it if we needed to?
Would I know about that? Or would I have that answer?
You know that the plague on its own, based on your time just after you arrived in Throg, the plague itself, in a very short amount of time, destroyed 80% of the vast population that was Throg. Destroying it was no easy matter. To reinvoke something like that would have very dangerous implications if it was done incorrectly, if any kind of mistake happened, or if it was set off in the wrong place, like if it was reinvoked too soon. It would be disastrous for anybody nearby.
I will convey that to Corvin, but in a very dramatic, wizardly way.
So an option, yes, with its own set of dangers and risks.
All right, so it wasn't just a plague on magic. It was a plague that was magical.
It was a magical plague, yes.
All right. Well, it is an option, but unfortunately it wasn't the option I was thinking it was originally when you first described it to me. But we can think about it, maybe.
No ideas off the table. In fact, every idea is on the table.
Just pausing to point out that instead of sending a text or image to my sister, my wife is holding up her nail polish to the camera, asking for input as to which she should use.
Convenience, why not?
That way the three people that watch this later won't be like, what in the world? So that's what's happening. Sorry, please continue, Robert.
That's all I was going to say. Were we able to get Scud? Where is he at?
We don't care about Scud.
Nobody woke up Scud or Breeza. You guys woke up Lonnie and Ash was immediately like, to the library, we have studying to do, and I've got my cape.
Seems like Ash doesn't care about Scud.
Ash gets very excited about the prospect of knowledge and research, which tends to be a strong trait for wizards.
Do you guys
slightly on the spectrum?
I can go wake up Breeza.
The spectrum of death. You'd like to wake up Breeza?
Corvin, Lonnie, Ash, if you can still hear me, should I go get Breeza? I'll go get Breeza. Should I go get Breeza?
That is probably fair. Yes.
Okay.
As Corvin's like walking out the door, it's like, thank you for
the right
the
one to do that, though.
Doesn't like being woken up. Warning. To the
Don't
library.
put in her face.
Just kidding. I knocked on her door.
You knock on her door, and after a few short seconds, the door opens very quickly, and Breeza is standing there. She sees you, and a flash of disappointment crosses her face.
Oh, girl, who were you hoping I was?
I'm curious.
You see right through me, don't you?
Like, I'm very into this girl chat right now. Yes, spill.
I'm not very good at girl chat. And she kind of looks down the hallway both ways. Your damn peer friend is very handsome.
You are not the first to fall for his little swoopy hair and his demeanor. Like, you've got he has a tortured soul, but I bet you if you talk to him, like maybe you can get through to him.
His cheekbones could cut glass, and I like that. But I'm not one for talking.
Have you been reading my books? What is this? Okay.
I'm just
You're not
imagining
one
Squidward.
Wait, did you say you're not one for talking, girl? I'm so excited for you. Okay. Are you nervous? Are you shy?
No.
Okay. I'm just making sure to misread this communication already. I think I got off topic. Corvin had a dream/vision that as in the murderer maybe after us. We're headed to the library to see if we can find more information. I feel like I should share that with you, but I really do want to circle back.
Sorry, there was a other noise. You wanted to circle back to what?
Your crush.
Oh, don't be crass. We're not children.
Oh, what do grown-ups call it? I don't really do girl talk either. I'm excited for the opportunity.
Exercise girl chat a bit later. It's already more than I've had in my entire life. More
Yes.
about this vision.
Let's go. I go to grab her hand and then I stop.
No.
I stop and I go this way to the library.
All right. Maybe one day, not today.
Okay. I feel like I'm making a new friend. Let's go.
And she follows you out into the hallway, and she again looks back down the hallway and back. Have you woken everyone already? Ash, Scud?
I don't think we got Scud. I forgot what room he's in, to be honest.
I'll get Scud. I'll meet you in the library.
Okay, girl. And then I go.
She turns without winking back. She walks to Scud's room. And you guys all head to the library.
Yeah.
All right. What are you doing in the library? Let's just start it off. Ash, Corvin, Lonnie, you guys got there first. Really, it's like a 2-minute difference. But what are you doing once you arrive?
I pull out my handy dandy notebook, which is really just a massive journal or whatnot. And I'm having Corvin recount every little detail about his dream so I can record it down.
Yep, I'm just helping Ash with that.
Okay.
I'm looking for books that might be good. I don't have his name on it or reference the realm we were just in.
Okay. I'm going to have you make an investigation check then.
Ooh, 17 plus something. 10. How'd that happen? 27.
27.
I might need to use my character sheet. That's the highest thing I have on here.
You start pulling down books about dreams, about premonitions, about visions. A lot of them have very long and pretentious titles, so it's kind of hard to tell. So opening up to their first table of contents, if you see anything about any kind of divination or seeing into the future or contact via arcane methods, you're taking it down and you're throwing it onto a nearby long table while Corvin and Ash are talking about what the vision was exactly. Lonnie, are you just kind of hanging out?
Yeah, I'm there for emotional support and anything else I can do.
You wish you had a breakfast muffin, but you're there mostly to be there. Breeza and Scud walk in shortly, watching Mora just taking book after book after book off the shelf, listening to Corvin give the last parts of his recountance of the conversation that he had with Carolyn. Do you include your bit about the voice at all, or do you just end it with the conversation you had with Carolyn?
Yeah, I include the voice, but suggest that it might not be related.
Okay.
Acute schizophrenia. Is somebody doing sound effects with the writing?
Laura's filing her nails.
It sounded like Quill.
She's
I'm
like,
so
writing.
sorry. I don't
It
mean
sounded
to-
like Quill, didn't it?
I was like,
Even I was like, "Whoa, this guy! Like the production value of my stream is incredible right now."
That was my intention. I'm so sorry.
I was like, that's not me writing.
I put all the books down. Like, guys, I found all these books. I can read them, I guess, but I would prefer somebody who's excited about it to do it.
Books.
Yes, you. That's what I was looking for.
And I go through the pile of books. And I'm like, all right, that's one on paleontology. This is this is a dirty novel. Like this one is about. Do I see any books in there that are actually?
As you throw the dirty novel over your shoulder, Breeza catches it midair and just kind of like holds it behind her back with both hands as if to hide it from everybody.
Oh, I see it.
She notices you're noticing, and your noticing has been noticed.
Is there any books in there that look like they would help our situation that she pulled out?
Give me an investigation check.
All right. That is my strong suit. That would be a 17.
So going through the pile of books that Mora is removing from the shelves and going over the shelves once yourself, you find several books that may be kind of related. You don't believe Corvin's story to be a premonition. You don't believe it to be a vision. You believe it to be a form of contact. And the contact that is normally talked about in your books is that of the arcane. So spells like message and how they are used. Even one that you've been reading about for a while now, contact other planes. This would be one that may relate in some way to what Corvin is experiencing. Spells like scrying are another form of contact, but one where you wouldn't be able to speak with the person on the other end. It's more of a second kind situation where you're just watching the person on the receiving end of the spell. So whatever method it is, you're pretty sure it's really just contact. From where you are unsure, you lack a lot of information to discern that right now. But based on the conversation that Corvin has recounted to you, the contact itself seems to be at an end going forward.
Got you. I relay that information, looking at it could have been any form of magical messaging and whatnot. And this Aslan, did he mention anything to you about looking for you when you last met him?
I don't recall, to be honest. I kind of was running a bit fast, so it's hard to say.
So, and you were actually helping out the Icathians. You weren't there for the death of Morgan. And so you didn't actually have any interaction with Aslan during that time. If I can get a history or a intelligence check, let's call it an even intelligence check from Mora and Lonnie to see if they remember what Aslan had said.
Natural 20.
You said 7, right? You're muted, Carol.
Yeah, 7.
Okay, cool. You're still thinking about the possibility of a breakfast muffin. You're getting a little hungry. Mora, you do remember that Aslan, in a show of force, told you to leave.
He sure did.
And he killed your friend without much hesitation.
Like that.
He told you to leave and to leave your friend's body with him as some kind of show of power or price of penance, whatever it may have been. But that was kind of it. He didn't say, I'll find you. He didn't say, I'm coming for you. He didn't really say anything. He said, leave.
Sure.
And then he said something to the effect of, this domain is no longer yours. That was it.
He kicked us out of our home. Killed my friend. Just kidding. I share everything as you see it.
Interesting. It is worth noting that in most literature I've read, that most villains of this nature, they always have a catchphrase like, I'll get you, or I'll follow you, something of that nature. And he didn't say that. So his motives are not that clear to us, besides what you've been told by a little girl.
And the little girl didn't even say his name. She just suggested there was someone scarier that she was scared of. So it technically could possibly not be Aslan. I was just the scariest person that I could think of.
Do you know of anybody else who'd be looking for you?
Well, we did collapse a couple other domains. We did chain kill a bunny a couple times. That might have pissed him off.
Hi, I found you.
Children.
I
want to fight Bunny one of these days. Or bring him into Mistvale. He could be our friend.
I think you're the only one who wants to revisit Bunny. Everybody else has been pretty vocal about wishing no more of that, please. So
Bunny was one of my finest work. I'm just putting that out there.
We will see.
I was quite proud of Bunny. Thank you very much.
I mean,
And you can
possible Hellview. We did have the ominous sign that was turned to 0. I don't know if the Hellview did still exist when we left.
That one was interesting because that one, if it was a collapse, it wasn't as violent as other domains when they collapse, maybe due to its small size. But it was not a liberated domain. The domain itself does not exist anymore. So it's hard to tell because the collapses that you have seen have come with a great what's the word I'm looking for? Like sort of a large trauma for it and its inhabitants that are left over. Or if it's liberated, the domain itself becomes an attachment of Mistvale. And neither of those things really happened. Why you guys are still unsure, but it has been kind of a topic of discussion between Ash and Scud and Breeza since that happened. And you guys aren't really able to get very many answers on what exactly happened with Hellview. The only thing that is clear is that the one inhabitant has escaped. They are no longer there, and you guys now have a journal from presumably that person.
Hmm. So the list of enemies grows thin.
Yeah, so the other ones, when they collapsed, they were a bit more vigorous with their collapse. The Icathians it was obvious that it collapsed, at least apparently. And I don't remember any other domains, so
There was also
the train.
Darkon collapsed.
Don't remember the name Darkon.
Darkon was the domain where you guys encountered Aslan.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, a question that maybe Ash would know with all his work that he's done with the mists and whatnot.
Mhm.
What is the nature of the mists in compared to the normal plane, Faerun, Toril, all that other? What is the relation of? Is it an alternative universe, an afterlife? Has he figured any of that out yet?
Give me an Arcana roll.
Ooh, all right. Arcana rolls. Here we go. My other strong suit. That would be a 25.
So as far as you're able to tell, and this is strictly from reading, you have walked in no other plane besides the mists that you remember. What happened within the process of your own death and revenants is not remembered at all. You're unsure exactly what happened there. But from what you, Ash, remember is you are familiar only with the mists on a personal level. From your readings, there are planes of existence, planes that are mentioned like the material plane, the ethereal plane, the Shadowfell, Mount Celestia, the Nine Hells, the Abyss, all of the planes of element. But nowhere is Raven or is the mists or anything like that really referred to as a plane of existence. So you're not exactly sure how the mists are qualified in the existence of other planes or on what level you guys are currently existing. The mists themselves serve as a kind of waypoint almost, where you can map different points within the mists. And even if your goal may be to find a certain place or a place containing certain people or certain traits, the mists are largely in control of kind of depositing you where they would like. Dr. Van Richten found a way around this, which is why he had instructed you guys to, think certain ways or aim in certain directions while traversing the mists, is so that you could end up where he wanted you to end up. But a regular person wandering out in the mists, even if they were walking in a direction that would put them within the path of a specific domain, they might not even wind up there in the domain to which they are headed. They might wind up in a different domain. So in a weird kind of fourth dimensional way, the mists exist and the domains within them are also there and traversable, but not always accurately. There was an instance where you and Scud were out on whatever you would like to call it, be it a mission or a walk in the mists, but you did stumble upon a very, very large domain that was almost too vast for you to comprehend. And when you guys kind of realized that this particular domain was beyond your capabilities or your mental capacity to solve, you retreated back to the mists, and that is when you eventually came across the Rider's Bridge. But originally, you had gone into the mists with the idea, let's see if we wind up where we need to be, kind of a thing. Like it was just like let's let the mists decide where we go. So in its own way, the mists, you believe, may be on its own level, kind of living, semi-sentient, but you're unsure how vast they are. You're unsure the extent of which they are involved with placing you in different domains. You are unsure how many domains there are left. You are unsure. There's a lot of uncertainty surrounding these domains, and this is given years and years of experience within them.
So I'm going to relay some of that to them, to the rest of the group. Thank you for clarifying all that, actually. And so based on my research, we have a possibility that a very powerful lich with all of Van Richten's logs, research, and whatnot is looking for you. Not to mention, he actually has the bodies of your friend and many others at his disposal.
Yes, it might be a bad time to add, but we also may have left a book for, not nukes. What were they? They were some kind of very powerful devices, but I don't remember exactly what they
Oh
did.
no, the bomb thing from the train.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
It is he is a wealth of information, and there's a possibility he might be searching for you. And if he has Van Richten's arsenal, and Van Richten himself, for that matter, it is only a matter of time before he finds everyone here. And at the moment, I dare say, I don't think we can take him at this moment. If he can thoroughly execute your friend with one word, then I think he is beyond our power at this moment. So hunting him down first is not a very pragmatic option. The other option would be to prepare, find some way to counter this and to find. He might be using this time as well to expand his realm, and as a lich would, expand his arsenal, which could be endless. What thoughts do you have on this?
Do you remember the Pirate Lord? What exactly was his life? I recall you having a journal about it.
Books.
Yes.
Yeah. Your first instinct is, how in the world did he know about my Pirate Lord journal? But then you are aware of who Scud is and how he can sometimes give a bit more information than is completely necessary, especially if he's on a roll.
Yes. So I pull over my journal of the pirate with the Pirate Lord.
Yeah, you go over to another chest or another shelf of books. This one not necessarily a tome or a shelf full of tomes or manuals or anything like that. This one is a shelf of journals, and after pulling a couple out to look at them, you do locate the one that you're looking for. It is the Pirate Lord's journal, and you hold it out for Corvin, or you open it yourself? What do you want to do with it?
No, I'll open it myself and see what I can pull up for, because it's a book. Of course, I love books. So yes.
Yeah, I'm like, please don't give it to Corvin. His like intelligence isn't very high.
You're a great dancer, though.
Let me find liked it. Over this last week, I've been making my own notes about everything, and this is not one of the things that has been added just yet. Give me 1 second.
Meanwhile, while we're perusing these pages, what would you like to know about this lord?
Well, from what Scud told me, he left some kind of treasures behind. I was wondering if these treasures could possibly help us with our fight against Aslan. If that is who we are fighting.
And even if they don't help us against Aslan, maybe they're worth a little something, something.
That also doesn't hurt, of course.
So the pirate lord Pietro van Ries, he was the captain of a ship called the Relentless, and that is exactly what he was. Him and his undead crew would sail the seas, dispatching vicious and unrelenting horror upon other ships that they came across, and oftentimes taking anything they could and killing everyone that they could. This journal described a lot of different things, which ships they sank on which dates, which of his crew members he killed or reanimated for which crimes, or for just upsetting him one day. But about halfway through the book, there is a bookmark series of 2 pages, and they are 2 pages back to front of a map within the mists upon the sea, with X's marking different locations, and there's no descriptions, but all the X's are labeled with either words, single words, or very short phrases. Those being Blaustein, Dominia, the Isle of Ravens, the Lighthouse, and the Vigilante's Bluff.
Interesting. And I relay all of that information to Corvin. Is there any mention in there of rare items that could help us?
I turn to Corvin and I say, hey, what did Ash tell you specifically, not the rest of us?
Oh.
Just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
The only mention of any valuables or items of interest besides these locations, the only mention of items of interest is a short passage 3 pages after these, where it just says all important artifacts are safely stored, and only I know where.
Interesting. Is he dead? Did we kill him? Did Scud and I kill him?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's no more. That's not somebody that you can go and talk to.
Okay. Interesting. I like how you went, or you were able to figure out where I was going with that. Like, who can I summon from the dead?
So he's no longer an entity that would be summonable, unless you had some spell, but you do not have any kind of body, you do not have any kind of remains, and he himself was undead at the time that you and Scud put him down for his final rest. So he was a lot like you in some ways.
You know, I actually do, and I relay this to everybody. I do have an ability to contact him, if possible. If you are up for a little bit of a misadventure, I could contact the other planes and use a ritual to do so, which has a probability of making me mad. Madder.
Okay.
So, you do know, this being a spell that you've never cast, but you have been reading up on, is you have the chance to contact a plane of your choice, but not an entity of your choice.
So it says on here I can mentally contact a demigod, a spirit of a long lost dead sage, or some other mysterious entity from another plane. Is what the
Yes, you can
Okay.
contact an entity from another plane, not a chosen entity from another plane. You mentioned this one, and I immediately went and researched it because I wanted to know what the implications were. Because
Okay.
contact another, I wanted to make sure that you could contact the plane that you wanted and an entity that you wanted, and that's not necessarily the case. You can make the attempt to contact a plane of your choice, but the entity that you contact is unfortunately not. So I have tables ready for that.
Cool. So, how about we try that?
I'm up for it. I mean, I don't see a downside, right? You said you just get a little bit more mad, right?
And I'm sorry, Ash. Which plane of existence is it that you're trying to contact?
Well, we have a couple other planes. I mean, where would a dead undead pirate go? Would I know where a dead undead pirate would go?
Give me a religion check.
Where do dead undead pirates go when they die?
Davy Jones.
That would be a 28.
Your best guess would be possibly the 9 hells. As you know, typically dead people, souls that are tormenting or tormented typically wind up in one of the 9 hells. Maybe even the abyss or the Shadowfell, but it's really uncertain what an afterlife would look like for somebody who was a dark lord of their own domain in the mists, and they were undead when you killed them. It's also unclear whether or not he worshipped a god, which god he may have worshipped, each one having their own set of beliefs as to what an afterlife actually is. So even with that, being an optimist, maybe Mount Celestia, but it's very hard to know for sure.
At that point, then we're just shooting in the dark. We're shooting for the 9 hells, and the odds are we'll probably end up with somebody we don't want to talk to.
Is there anybody in the 9 hells that you do want to talk to? Is kind of the point. Like, so even if you were like, hey, let's contact the 9 hells, the chances of you contacting Pietro, not very big. And anybody that you did contact may not be necessarily somebody that you want to talk to.
Yeah, I don't want to use this. I don't think I want to use this spell for this situation. I have other ideas for using it in the future. But how does everybody feel about going through following this pirate lead?
I mean,
I
I'm a
suggested
rogue,
it,
and you
so-
mentioned treasures, so I will probably be down. Corvin, what did you say? I'm so sorry.
I said I suggested it, so I kind of have to go with it, right?
Lonnie's probably sleepy enough to go with anything.
She hasn't had her coffee yet.
She gets to use some aquatic animals if she wants. That'll be cool.
That's true. I
Oh
keep
my
seeing them,
goodness.
and I'm like, when am I ever going to use those? I didn't
I
even think of
cast
that.
8 sea wolves.
Still uses the chicken models, of course.
I think I would then at this point, yeah, I'm not going to use that contact other plane spell because I feel like we'd be better off just heading there and seeing where this lead takes us. We have better odds that way. I'll save that for something else big. I'm going to do it. I'm going to roll. I'm going to see if I go insane sometime.
All right. Sounds good to me. I've got the tables ready for when you want to do that.
I want to at some point roll to try contacting the mists itself to see if there's any answers. If it's a sentient creature or if it's sentient, then in theory you can contact the mists. In theory.
In theory, if the mists are sentient, your chances of contacting the mists would be, let's just say for the sake of argument, there are 10 million and separate entities within the mists. Dark Lords, the people under their tyranny, anybody in Mistvale, the mists themselves, other creatures. Your chances of then contacting the mists on just a random crapshoot would be 1 in 10,000.
Oh, okay.
10 million.
I like those
whatever it is I said. So it's still very, very unsure. Also, for contact other planes, would you be able to contact the mists if they were a plane of existence from the plane of existence you're currently on?
I do not know.
That's
It's
the
very
one
vague in that situation.
on.
It's not like we'd have a full conversation. I only get 5 questions and they can only, it's like shaking a magic 8-ball.
It would be from another plane. It would not be the plane that you're on. So in order to try this, you would need to somehow find a way to escape the mists if the mists was in fact its own plane of existence.
Okay.
If it's not its own plane of existence, you would need to exit the mists and then also exit the plane of existence that the mists exists on in order to attempt to contact the mists. But that then widens your search parameters and lowers your chances of actually contacting the mists as a theoretical sentient entity.
Okay. Makes sense. So yeah, pirate stuff.
Yeah.
Pirate stuff.
Pirate stuff it is. Scud kind of gives a okay, let me get my axe, and he heads off to procure his adventuring gear. Breeza, who is kind of sitting back in a chair, I'll go if you want. Or I can stay here.
I think
Nobody
she should
answer
go.
at once, and she just gets up and she leaves the
No, I
library.
just said I think she should go. Come
I've been
with
talking
us.
too much as it is.
All right. She just kind of says as she leaves the room. She hasn't slowed down as you yelled after her.
She doesn't like us, does she?
She likes some of us more than others.
Yes. You're very lucky, Ash. And Corvin will just leave the room.
I had to think about all that for a second. I'm like, what? Oh, what? Sorry, I was too obsessing about pirate stuff.
I get it.
Everybody likes booty.
So you can all gather your adventuring gear. You can have a good, nice, hearty breakfast. If there's anything that you guys wanted to do before you left, otherwise your next thing would be to charter a ship.
Let's do it.
All right. All of those things happen then, I assume. You have
Man,
your
this was so
belongings that you need. Lonnie, you finally get your breakfast muffin. It's fresh from the oven. Alfred made blueberry muffins for everybody. And then he even, upon hearing your plans to abscond for a trek across the southern seas, he even readied some traveling rations for you, dried jerky and dried biscuits, primarily, with a couple small jars each of spread, some jellies, some marmalade, one thing of butter.
Thank you very much, Albert.
It's Alfred, sir.
Oh, I misheard your name. Sorry.
It's quite all right, Dorvin. And he turns around and he walks back. Clearly just having a bit of fun with you. And then once everybody is ready to go, Scud and Ash lead you all to the southern part of the city, where you guys can visit the docks to try to charter a ship.
What kind of size ship are we looking for? I don't know. We're not going to be looking for any galleons or a rowboat, I assume, but that seems very small.
Well,
You're not looking at like the key to see what the scale is. Like this.
most of these are fishing vessels. In fact, the overwhelming majority of these are fishing vessels, and their primary purpose is to, well, fish. Any others would be used for transporting goods to and from Mistvale and the Southern Isles. If we wanted one of a size large enough to handle anything that the mists could throw at us, we would want one of the larger fishing vessels. But as those are needed to maintain the fishing economy within Mistvale, we would need to pay a bit higher of a price in order to charter one of those. That way everybody gets paid, and we also may need to find some way to make sure that the amount of fish necessary for Mistvale's ongoing upkeep and sustenance is fulfilled by the other vessels in port.
Ash, do we need to dredge up and... Oh, I'm sorry?
Sorry, no, I just... it was a lot. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, Ash, according to that map, did we need to dredge up anything, or was it all on land?
The map, does it show just multiple different locations?
It's got X's.
Yeah.
Any of them on water?
They're all
Any of them on?
They're all on water. None of them mention land, but even like the one that's labeled the Isle of Ravens or the one that's labeled the Lighthouse, there's no marking of land for either of those. You can't really have an isle without land, and you're not going to build a lighthouse on the surface of the ocean. So you would have to assume that there is land somewhere, but it's not notated on the map in the journal.
All right. How much do you think the rent of these boats would cost per week there, Scud? I was just pointing at like the normal size ones, not the big ones. How much would those cost?
Oh, probably money. I don't know. We might want to talk to the harbor master to see if there's anybody that would be willing to be chartered, and to see what that price point would be.
Fair enough. Let's go talk to him then.
All right. And he
We go
turns
to the
around.
harbor
He
master.
starts walking off toward further into the docks. There's a kind of largish hut about the size, about half the size of a normal domicile. There's this big wooden kind of building that's set up, and it sits there right where the edge of the docks meets land. And Scud just goes, there you go. This is your show now.
Well, hello there, sir. Or is it a building? I don't know what he. Put me in
It's
front
a
of.
building. You'd have to.
Oh,
go
okay.
into it.
Go inside then.
You speak to the door. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. You go inside, and sitting at a very large, simple desk with ledgers in various states of opening, close, all in front of him, and some papers and some notes. Scratching away furiously with a quill is who you believe to be the harbor master.
Hello, sir. We are interested in procuring a boat for a bit of an excursion. How much would you say a medium-sized vessel would be? Or and for how long?
Oh, how long? Well, it kind of depends on the price, then, don't it? Or what kind of venture is this that you're willing to take? You're not looking to chart this for your own fishing.
We may need a bit of hooks. We might be doing some dredging, but it's mostly just for leisure.
Dredging ain't no problem. So you intend on staying within the bounds of the southern seas, then?
What is on the map? I don't know. Am I lying to this man, or if I'm going to say yes, but am I lying to this man?
You would be lying to the man.
Okay,
The map itself, the seas do still exist out in the mists, but a large portion of that has just populated around south of Mistvale to give Mistvale access to fishing. But several miles out to sea, what would be considered, international waters, about 2 days out. That's where you would be back in the mists.
I don't believe we're going to be traveling that far. We should be staying. We don't want to get lost. It's the first time being on a vessel.
He kind of roll a deception check.
Me?
No, Corvin.
20.
Okay. I was being honest.
20 total?
Yeah.
He slowly closes his ledger, and he kind of interlaces his fingers, and he leans forward on the desk a little bit. He kind of, if you're chartering a vessel, one would wager that you've got no sailing experience of your own. And one would wager that you're not staying within the bounds of the southern seas, and you might be aiming for something a little bit more mistward. Now, without sailing experience, you'd also need to charter a crew. And if you're mistward, there exists a certain level of risk to the crew. And surely you'd want to be upfront about these dangers with the crew that you're looking to charter to take you where it is that you want to go. So, let's go ahead and try it again. Where are you going? How far out? For how long? And how many men would you need to help you crew the chartered ship there?
Well, I can't answer that last one because, once again, the first one, I don't know how much it takes to operate a boat. But I will be chartering, and I'll wave a. Do we have? It's only the X map, right? We only have the map with the X's, right?
Yeah, just in the journal.
All right. I'll wave a like a notebook, but not the journal. We have an inkling that we want to follow. I don't know exactly how far this is supposed to be. And I'll look if did Ash join me in here.
That's up to Ash.
Yeah, are you in
Yeah,
the room
I'm
with
there.
me? Okay.
Mhm.
It's probably best we let somebody know where we are if we get lost at sea. And I will show him the map, assuming no one stops me.
He reaches out. He takes the journal for you. He regards it for a moment. He flips the 2 pages back and forth, looking at both maps. And then he goes over to a large shelf holding several dozen scrolls. And he begins flipping through scrolls, kind of peeking down them a little bit before he chooses 3 from 3 different little cubby holes. He pulls them out and he spreads out the first one, and you see him comparing it to the journal. And he rolls the first one back up. He unrolls the second one, and he's comparing it to the journal. And you see him kind of like tap the map with the tip of his finger. All right. I'll get you a ship. I'll get you a crew. And I'll give you, based on the distance that I have here, that's 4 days there, 4 days back. Let's go ahead and call it a deposit for 210 That way, you have as much time as you need there, while you're there, and back. Whatever days you're not gone, will be returned to you. Any liabilities that befall the crew or the ship will be taken out of your 210-day deposit.
That seems fair, but what is deposit, sir?
That would be 200 gold for each 10-day, totaling 400 gold.
And are these valid currency? I I don't know if we've ever tried to spend platinum here, so I'll flash the platinum.
Look at that. And he kind of takes it from you. Aye. I'd call that rather valid.
This is like the
Alright.
first time I've ever seen platinum spent.
He takes your 40 platinum and he opens a drawer within the desk. He pulls out a large coffer chest and using a set of keys, he unlocks it. He puts your 40 platinum into its own separate satchel. And you see within the coffer, there are wooden separators. He slips it into one wooden separator, takes a piece of paper, jots something down on it, and then places it in the same separator next to your bag. And then he says, all right, your 10 days, your 210 days, they start at high noon today. If you get a rush on, you'll get a few hours extra on that time. If you are not seen back, any and all liabilities will be billed to Ash's estate.
All right. I mean, I just looked at Ash. Are you okay with that?
Terms are agreeable enough. I mean, it's this our certain doom, so.
Aye, that's
Hello?
a spirit. All right. Dock 3, ask for Captain Wilhand.
All right. Thank you, sir. And I'll just kind of put my hand out back for the journal.
Ah, yes, of course. I'm so sorry. And also, just in case you'd like something larger, he rolls up the map that he was referring to and he hands it to you. And he says, return it in good condition. There will be no cost. Don't return it or lose it, and we'll take it out of the liability measures that you've put in for the deposit. Sound fair?
enough.
All right.
To Dock 3.
We go
And
to Dock.
you guys head off to Dock 3 in search of Captain Wilhand. As you approach, you see a large, gigantic, gray humanoid with a big, round, bulbous head. And as you approach, he almost looks like a swollen Goliath.
And that's where we end. No, I'm just kidding.
Excuse me, sir.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead.
Or is it
And
I've
is
been
he on
talking
the
about-
ocean or he's on the ship?
He turns towards you. He's standing there looking up, regarding his ship, and somebody kind of approaches him, and you see him point up into the ship, saying something that you can't quite discern. And the person runs up the gangplank up onto the ship, and he begins, messing with some rope there. And as you approach, you say, "Excuse me, sir," and you see him slowly turn. Hey.
You happen to be Captain Wilhand by chance?
Aye. And you are?
We are the individuals that purchases your services, I guess you could say. And did he give us any kind of contract or anything like that other than the map?
Nope.
Yes, we put a deposit down, and we were hoping to join you on your boat today. And for the next couple, I guess basically month.
Oh. It's been a while since we've had a charter. And he looks at Ash and at Scud. He goes, you crave the sea again, do ya, lads? And they don't really answer. But Scud kind of gives like just a simple nod. And the captain goes, I crave her too. On board with you then. I'll see the harbor master. Iron out the details. I trust he gave you a map.
I kind of just yes. I don't know what the point. I assumed you have one, but I go to hand him the map anyways.
And he kind of takes it from you and he unrolls it in his three very thick gray fingers, and he unrolls it and he guards it and he goes, you're after Pietro's treasures. I'll see you get something, if only adventure, out of this excursion. I'll be on deck. Give me 2 hours to gather the lads, to gather the provisions, and we'll be off. Make yourselves comfortable.
Corvin's going to get on the boat, kind of like giddy, like he's like a childhood dream of like, ooh, I could be pirates kind of thing.
All right. Yep. You get up onto the ship. There are some ship hands there who show you to separate quarters, guest quarters, where you are able to put your stuff down. It's guest quarters, but it's glorified. What it really is like one room with 6 hammocks just kind of strung up in there, with a simple floor chest for any belongings that you might want to put in there. But they seem rather proud of it. And one of the hands even mentions that not all fishing vessels have quarters for guests. And he's very like, but we do. And that is where we will leave it for tonight. As you guys set off upon the southern seas of Mistvale, headed into the mists for the Sea of Sorrows. And that's and we'll pick it up there. Next week, it'll just be a question of where you guys would like to visit first on that map. Be it Blaustein, Dominia, Isle of Ravens, the Lighthouse, or Vigilance Bluff. All of them do seem on the map kind of equidistant. They're just in different directions. The only one that really goes out too much farther would be the Lighthouse. But if that's the only one that anybody's interested in, that's an easy trip. So yeah, just you'll have to decide with Captain Wilhand where you're headed first or primarily. And next week, you guys will be upon the high seas, swashbuckling pirates. Good for you. Yeah, there you go. Thanks for being here, everybody. Join us again next week for another exciting episode of I'm on a Boat. I'm on a boat. Take a good hard look at the mother father boat. Well, I've got very concerned. Have a good one, everybody.